Morning, John here for yet another Saturday and another gloriously sunny day. Normally I try to upload on a Thursday, but this week I've left it till Saturday. Sometimes I have to. Unfortunately, my mother-in-law, who was a very nice person and almost 98 years old, sadly she passed away. So I've been looking after my wife rather than worrying about anything else, just making sure that she's okay. So this week, I thought we'd have a look at another new oil pastel. I say new, it's been on the market a while, but nobody really has reviewed it. So I'm going to change that, and I'm going to tell you the truth. So what I'm going to review today are these. These, according to the box, are the Yueyan Oil Pastels. Let's go over to the desk. We'll see if they're any good. And we'll see what they're like we normally do. And I'll probably do a colour chart, although it's going to be quite a long colour chart because there's 72 colours in here. And I'll just give you my thoughts on them. So here we have the Yueyan Oil Pastels. It says Yueyan on there, it says soft oil pastel on there, and a little bit of Chinese writing, I believe, and a picture of Van Gogh. Now, there is nothing else to say. There is nothing on the back of the package. Well, there's a little sticker about the manufacturer, that's about it. And there's really nothing else to say. However, I think that is incorrect. It comes in this really nice bamboo box. It has a magnetic clasp here. And I think I'm going to make you start clambering for these, because I know something about these that I suspect most people don't actually know, because it's not advertised as such. Anyway, they're in this bamboo box, which is quite nice in itself. It's quite really sturdy. And it says Yueyan on the box inside, 72 colours. And literally, you have this piece of foam. There is no leaflets, there's nothing. And I believe I know why. So I'm now about to reveal that. Here's the pastels. And at the moment, you're saying to yourself, well, what is it you know, John? I'm going to tell you. I'm going to get this pastel out of here. And it has a number. It has a name somewhere. Light rose pink. But it says made in China. And on here it says www.kulox.com. On here it says Kulox. These are Kulox oil pastels. Now I would suspect, now learning that, you're going to go scuppering off in a massive hurry to get these, because I would. These are, I think that Kulox have stopped trading. And I don't think they, even if they do trade, I don't think they do oil pastels anymore. So I am finding that Kulox oil pastels are actually quite hard to get hold of. I have loads of them in different boxes, you can imagine, as normal. But you can't just get them brand new anymore, and there's no new types coming out or anything like that. So I believe that probably this is all old stock that Kulox haven't sold off and have decided to sell off to other people, such as Yueyan. And that's where the Yueyan oil pastels are originating from. They are actually Kulox. I don't know all this. I'm just presuming, and I think it kind of makes sense. So this is quite a spectacular box, to be honest with you. They all look a bit messy. Not maybe as clean on the labels as they could look, and that's because of the printing of the labels. They all have this background kind of mottled look to them, so it doesn't help. And they almost look greasy, but they're not. It's just that the label shines. And you get 4 white oil pastels in them, so that's a good start. And then look at this range of colours building up into different tones. This is beautiful colour for different reasons, and so's that one. And look, absolutely some wonderful colours in here for different reasons. and they look very soft. And the reason I say that without even touching them is that you can see on the ends that they look a bit mashed up, for want of a better thing to say, and the pastel's coming off on the plastic tray. But they have quite a smallish set of purples, so I'm not too displeased with that. Quite a good range of blues. They could do with some lighter colours, really light colours, such as these. But it's only a 72 set, so we mustn't complain, must we? But a nice set of greens, and a couple of browns, earth tones, and of course your black. So I'm going to do a colour swatch of these so you can see the colours all together. And they make more sense when they're on a piece of paper anyway, don't they? But I mean, there's some lovely nuanced colours in here. And they're Kulaks. They're going to be good. I don't understand why these good oil pastel companies, such as Kulaks, such as Yueyan, are all stopping, because they're doing really good oil pastels. Now that does concern me a little bit, because it does make me wonder whether oil pastels don't actually make them that much money, and if they don't make them much money, then the good oil pastels are going to stop. Or I should say the good oil pastels at a really good price, because if you go off to buy these, you are going to be paying probably around about £15 maximum. I think I got this set somewhere else and I didn't pay above £5, but that's irrelevant. I have several sets that I've bought off of online, and I've only paid probably between £8 and £10 for them, so take a look. And the only place I have seen that you can buy these is Temu. Now, again, I've said in the past, Temu gets a bad rap. I've never had any problems with Temu. On the odd occasion, something might not be the quality you thought, but then look at the price you're paying. But oil pastels, I've never had any problems whatsoever with any of their oil pastels. Specifically, it's just the brand that makes the difference. They are what they are. Let's do a colour chart. And if I need any thoughts, I will stop and tell you what they are. So today, I thought I'd introduce you to Buster. Buster, he's a cracking little boy. He is so funny. He is really comical. And he has a toy called Doggy. Well, he has several toys called Doggy that we send him looking for, and you should see him searching for them. He's absolutely wonderful. Anyway, Buster's 4 years old. Rosie last week is 11. And we have one other dog called Honey, who I'll introduce you to probably next week. But Buster came from a rescue centre. He was just under a year old, I think, and he's now 4, and he's been a welcome addition to the family. He's actually given my two other... What are you looking at, Buster? He's actually given my two other girls some life back, so that's brilliant. But he is a handsome boy, isn't he? He looks like me. Anyway, that's Buster, and we'll see more of Buster as time goes on, I'm sure. Anyway, are you going to go in the garden? Going to go in the garden, Buster? Oh, he's very quiet. He's not normally this quiet. There you go. Again, let's start with the white just to see what it goes on like. And I'm going to put some pencil down just so you can see the white. And see how it covers. Pencil's not the ideal thing, it's just what I have to hand. Right. Ooh. They're really sticky. They're going on like oil paint. Nice. Sticky. Really soft. And very powerful by the look of that colour. Look how that's covering. Look how thick that's going on. Let's just zoom you in. Thick that's going on. And it's covered that pencil. Don't use pencil, by the way. It's just that I had that to hand, so I used it just to show the white. And look at the ends. And look at the ends. That gives you an idea of how soft and sticky these are. The colours. You're not going to get details from these unless you use blending tools, because they literally are going on like paint. They look as if you could almost move them with a brush, which is a technique I'm looking into at the moment, if I'm being honest. There's no crumbliness. What there is a stickiness. You could get a lot of texture with these ones, a lot of texture, and they are very soft, and you could get yourself into a mess. So just be aware that they are very soft, but they're really nice. We'll do a blending test afterwards. So that's the first row done, and I've got to say they are lovely. They really are lovely. You're going to need blending tools to manipulate these. I mean, you can use your fingers, obviously, if that's the way you want to go. But look at these colours. This is kind of like the oranges through to some yellow ochre type browns and yellows. But look at these lovely, lovely colours. Some of them, that one's quite unusual, really. I mean, I don't know when you'd use that, but I mean, that would be really nice, more fluorescent. But that's the first row done, and they are soft, they are sticky, they feel like, literally kind of feel more like oil paint sticks, or oil sticks I should say. But yeah, fantastic. I really am pleased. But the one, I only had one that caused me not a problem. It just felt a little bit drier than the others. But that's not a problem. It still was sticky. You can see, look, I've still layered it really well. It was just a touch drier than the others. And I would suggest that you need to keep these in the box and out of heat and sunlight and what have you, so that they maintain this lovely textural oil paint feel. So let's start on the second row. Really dark brown. Really, really nice to see a really dark brown. Okay, so that's the second row done. And these colours are really vibrant. They're really sticky. They layer lovely. And look at the texture you could get if that's what you want. I mean, you can smooth that out. But these pastels are really, really nice. So far, we haven't blended. Now, I don't like purples, as you know, but there are some absolutely fantastic purples. I love this one. And this one's very nice, and these two are great as well. I love the dark brown. I love the umber colour, just because I like the umber colour for different reasons. And on the odd occasion, you're getting like a fluorescent colour in them. So there, maybe there. And they are opaque, they are pigmented, they are fantastic. These blues will lend themselves to probably any sky that you're looking for. And I've still got to do a load more blues. So I'm going to have to start on a different piece of paper. So we'll tear that one off and I'll show you everything afterwards. Let's start on the third row. I'm just going to stop to show you these colours. What a lovely selection of colours these are. Maybe not them two, but these others are very muted, very pastel. Kind of a greyish look to them, and that's another video I'm going to get onto in the future. But what lovely colours they are. There's another really nice dark brown there, and I'll just keep you here now because I'm coming to the end. That's a nice grey. Every single one of these colours is consistent. Every single one of these colours has covered. Every single one of these colours is opaque. Every single one of these colours feels more like an oil paint stick rather than an oil pastel. If I had to compare it to oil pastels, it would be along the lines of Paul Rubens, the softer, stickier types. And yeah, fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. What a lovely set of earth tones we've got going on here. And even the greens. Look at these greens. Even the greens have performed well. Texture. Can you see that texture? And I didn't lay them very heavily. So yeah, that's good. I really like that. Not that I use texture, but I could smooth that out like paint. Let's have a look at the colour chart then. Right, let's speak about this colour chart. As I said before, we have some really nice nuanced colours and a superb range, and every so often we get like these fluorescent type colours coming up. We have a couple of really nice dark browns, dark blues, dark greys, some really nice grey muted colours. The greens are superb. You've got everything you want in here. You really have. So that's your oil pastels. That's your colour chart. And I'll pause so you can see what you want and take it from there. But I think it's a really nice set. Really nice set. Let's do some blending, shall we? I'm going to get a light colour. This grey. These really do go on here really nice and thick. Just like oil paint. Just like an oil stick, from my experience with oil sticks. And they layer up. They seem as if they just keep going. Look at that. Shows you how soft they are. There's a little bit of firmness there though. And let's just go through to another purple, because grey and purple kind of go together. Really, really nice. Really soft. Bit sticky. Not sticky as in a horrible stickiness though. And then let's just go into this purple. That's a really nice colour, isn't it? More of a reddy purple in fact. So it's purple grey. Yes, I like grey type colours. And then we'll go into this brown just because it lends itself. But already I think you can see that there's a definite quality about these. Look how opaque they are. Look how thick and how oil paintish they look. I think they are really, really lovely. Let's start with this light grey and we'll smooth it out. Wow. Look at that. You can even blend out a bit further a lot further, in fact, if you really wanted to. And I'm going to come into this purple. We're getting a lovely blend. I'm going to go out on all of them just because I can, but the main part is obviously where I'm now blending. They are lovely. There's a brilliant quality there, I think. And the texture is absolutely lovely. It's just like butter. And there's a lovely silkiness, a satin sheen to them. And they blend, well, like a dream, if I'm being honest. Look at that. You'll probably notice it more where the grey goes into the purple or the violet colour. Let's just bring it over here. I made a bit of a mess up there, didn't I? But yeah, look at that. Even if you make a mistake, you can bring it back over a lot. That's really good. Really, really good. I'm spreading it out. It's a lot bigger than it was to begin with. That's really, really good. I would say this is one of the rare occasions that I'm going to say that you could probably just use your fingers as well. Look at that. It smooths it out a lot more. Really nice. Really, really nice. I'm making a bit of a mess now because I keep going over it. Let's have a look at the pilling aspect. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. In fact, it's just spreading out. There's no separation. It's just spreading out. Look at that. I'm so impressed. It is literally not separating. That is, well, wonderful. That, and I'm pressing quite hard here to try and get a separation, but I can't get one. In fact, I'm treating it worse than I would do other oil pastels, just because I kind of can't quite believe what's happening. Now, that's a mess. I know that's a mess, but that's because I pressed really hard to try and get that separation. But if you had just one colour, you can imagine that you would just be blending that out and getting the colour you need. And you could end up with some really thin layers by doing that. But yeah, it spreads out well. It doesn't separate. It doesn't pill. There's no crumbliness. It's soft. It's silky. A little sticky. Just like I would imagine oil paint to be on your paper. I'm impressed. So what's the takeaway from that? Great set. Absolutely great set. Before this, I would have said that one of the best sets that you could get for the price that you would pay would be the Art Decos. And I still stand by that. But these are right up there with that, but in a different way because they're stickier, they're softer. Two sets would probably work well together, I would imagine. It's got a great colour range. It's soft. It's almost like a really stodgy lipstick. It really is kind of like almost one of the softest I think I've used. But it still has some firmness about it. And it feels like you could spread that about quite well. And I'm really impressed with them, I have to say. I don't think that for me as a detailed artist, they're going to be the best I've ever used. So I think I'm going to have to find ways of blending with them in order to get the detail that I want. But if you're a textural artist and you like the impasto look, these are right up your street because you can maintain some control. It's a great set. It's cheap. Points out of 10, I'd give it probably a 9. Somewhere along the line, I read these as student grade, but if they're student grade, well, I'll eat my hat. They really are nice. But then what do you expect of Kulaks? And I'd love to know if Kulaks are still trading. It's hard to find out. But they're now trading under this Yueyan name, as well as other names. And, you know, you can still get them, but they're few and far between now. All said, I would go and get these. I would splash out that money very quickly, because they're not going to last forever, and they are very cheap. And if you look on Temu, you can get them even cheaper sometimes. So keep an eye out over the next few days. See if they go down in price. And don't just buy the first one you see. Scroll through. Keep scrolling through. And you will find these, and you will love them. Sometimes they don't actually show the box, so you're going to have to go on to them. If you see a set of 72 and it says between £10 and £14, perhaps have a look and see if they're in this box. And if they are, my recommendation is get them as soon as you can, because they're going to be a really welcome addition, especially if you love soft oil pastels. Anyway, don't forget I've got memberships. Don't forget to subscribe, like, all that palaver, all the housekeeping, all the normal stuff. It really would be nice to have some other members. I've got some ideas coming up, and they're going to be probably just for members. I'm not sure yet. You know, the channel's still growing, and it's still mutating into what I need it to be and what I would like it to be for you and for me. But anyway, until next time, whomever, wherever you are, please have a great day, great week and a great year. And of course, always be kind. Bye for now.